Ben Chai, talking about his journey, and we met in our Author Awards in 2008 in London, and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation.
Thank you so much, Heidi. It's a privilege to be here on the start of your podcast journey.
Yes, it is so amazing. And thank you for contacting me on my birthday to make me realize that the time is now and that I couldn't wait anymore with this. And when you sent me the TEDx talk, I just understand that I had to have you on this show. And thank you so much for all the knowledge and all.
You're making me blush. If this was on film instead of a podcast, people would see me going, "Whoa!" My feeling so big. Thank you so much, Heidi.
Thank you. And because you are talking about how to get success in your life, can you tell me about what is passion for you, and what is your passion?
So I guess everyone has a number of passions, and if I was coaching people in changing their dreams into a reality, transforming their dream life into reality, I would divide those passions up into different categories. For me, the passion is actually really what I've just said, helping people get the life that they want, whether that life is through, in working in a corporate world, or working for themselves, or having many businesses, but just writing down that life that they want. And that's my current passion, which I've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes, it is amazing. And it's when you do what is from your heart, then you really, truly are helping other people. Are you agree with it?
Yes, when you can find out what's in your heart, and I think that's the challenge, to find out exactly what is in your heart. And for many of us, it's a journey. We don't really know. We have to do many different jobs. We have to meet many different people before that crystallizes in our heart. Like, I am Heidi, I am passionate about this. But before, it's like, oh, this sounds great, I'll have a go. And then like 6 months later, you think, well, actually, maybe I didn't like that.
Yes.
So I always remember being a little bit jealous of and envious of some friends who at the age of 10 knew exactly what they wanted to do. And that's all they've done. A friend, he knew he wanted to be a lawyer. He studied for a lawyer. He got a scholarship and he became a top lawyer in the world. Another one wanted a teacher. He became a teacher. Someone asked him to be a headmaster. He said, no, I want to be a teacher. He was asked to be in charge of many things. He said, no, I'm a teacher. And he retired a teacher. He was just very passionate about it. And both those individuals, because they knew what they wanted to do, they were just amazing. And they went to bed happily, knowing that they were doing what they wanted. But I think they're exceptions. I think many of us have to find out over time. It's a journey for us. And maybe we're the lucky ones, or they're the lucky ones, I don't know, because we get to experience many different things.
Yes. And when you are experience many things, you get different kind of knowledge.
That's right.
And can you please introduce yourself?
Sure.
What will you say about yourself?
If somebody asked me who I am, and I would just say that my name's Ben, and they might ask me, what do? I say I help transform people's dreams into a reality, I write the roadmaps that they can use, so that every year, every month, every day, they know what to do if that's what they want. Now, some people along the way, they change their journey. They realize that what they thought was their dream isn't. Like they might want houses all over the world, and so that they can live in each one of them. And then when they realize that the time to acquire those properties in that dream, and to maintain that dream, what's involved, they sometimes think, well, actually, maybe I'll have something a little different. So it's that journey, and working with them through how to change that thing that they have in their head that they've always wanted into a reality.
If I had a dream, how would you start to make my dream come true?
Well, first of all, I'd ask you what that dream is. So would you give me an example?
Yeah, for me, my passion is yoga, writing books, doing podcasts, talking to people, helping people to get more in contact with their hearts and understand the power of the heart. So by coaching, and so I would say.
So you're already living your dream.
Yeah.
You already teach yoga. You've already, share great information. I look at some of your posts on your Facebook, and very, very spiritual and really inspiring to help people. I would transform that into a little bit more, because what you just shared about is what you love doing, but what about where you want to live? What kind of partner you want? What kind of what do you want for your children, and so on. So then what kind of car? Just very simple things. What kind of car you want to drive? Perhaps you might say, look, I want to teach yoga, but I want to have a yoga academy. And then I would, like, where do you want those areas? You might want to franchise it in terms of business, but it also works on a personal level as well. So that's what I'm looking for. And then you tell me, okay, Ben, I would like to drive a Ferrari, or you even care what car you drive. We know that some of our billionaire friends, they're not interested in driving these super fast cars. They just, like Warren Buffett, he just drives a normal car, really. I mean, it's a very expensive normal car. It's not like a sports car. So that's what I need to know. And you might say, well, I'd like to be living where I am, but I want to, my house paid off. I don't want a mortgage. I don't want to rent. I just want to own that. So that's what I'm looking for. And then I'll break it down into a financial goal. Once I've got that financial goal, I'll then look at your emotional goals. So perhaps you've never been able to achieve that because you have anger issues. And I know the great thing about what you offer the world is you're helping them become more peaceful internally. So that would help reduce that kind of issue. But I'd find out some of the areas that is stopping them from being the amazing people that they already are. And if I go back to this Ferrari, many people, from my perspective, are Ferraris, but they might have just a flat tire, and that's stopping them. But they can't see that flat tire. So the next thing that we look at is their physical goals as well, because you can't. What's the point of having a great partner, great children, a nice life if you can't enjoy it? So we look at their physical goals, and we look at their intellectual goals. So what do they want to improve their minds? At their spiritual goals, and so how can they improve in terms of giving back to the world? How can they improve in terms of just charitable kind of aspects? Their emotional goals, we mentioned anger and so on, and what they just like to do outside of their business. Now, it might be that they enjoy their business anyway. Like, for example, someone was asking me about holidays, and they're saying, oh, what where do you like to go back to? And I'm thinking, I don't like to go back to anywhere. What do you do on your holidays? I always dance. That's not a holiday, they're saying. They're saying, well, if it was a normal holiday, but for me, I love dancing, so I would only ever go on a dance holiday. That to me is relaxing, not lying on a, whereas other people might like beach holidays. So I want to know what you want to be doing every day once you have the finances. It's the old question. If you had all the money in the world, what would you be doing right now? How would you be living? And then if you give me that answer, that's what I'm going to try and help you achieve.
That is an amazing answer, and it is, if you were asking me, I would say I would do the same that I do now, because I live my dream. And I know that everything is happening at the right time, at the right, you meet the right people, you go to the right direction when you are ready for it. So it's so good when you are saying that you have to go to see all your aspect of your life, like you have to go see on the financial, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, and also I think it's important to go and see what gives you energy and what takes energy, because so many people are living in a situation that they are going on autopilot, and they are doing the same thing day in and day out, and they are thinking about they want to change their jobs, but they don't do that because they are thinking that they won't manage to do that. But when you are shifting your mindset, then you understand that everything is possible.
Yeah, I think you're right, and the universe really does give you everything that's possible. And just before I go back to that thought of everything is possible, the other aspect of when I'm working with people is their relationships, because I know if you try to achieve things on your own, then it becomes much more stressful. So I look at their relationships with their significant other, their children, and other kind of like people that could potentially help them achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
So I'm coming back to your point about people meeting the right people at the right time. This is so true, really true, that the universe, when you're ready, will put you on that journey. I would say that sometimes that journey may not be the one that you expected. So, for example, the universe may give you an illness or somebody horrible do something to you, which will then allow you to grow, because otherwise you would probably not move in the direction that you want to if you didn't have that challenge. And it might be like, for example, someone betraying you. And you think, oh my goodness, this really hurts, this is painful, and you do something to prevent you from being hurt in that way again, which teaches you more about life. You might meet other people who, for example, have been betrayed, and they might teach you and help you grow, so that you grow in helping achieve your business. We just don't know what the universe has for you long term. And so every one of these perhaps people who may support you or challenge you or even betray you, it's still the universe helping you to grow.
Yes, that is so true. And it's when I'm helping women all over the world, I understand that everything that I do in my life I can use when I'm helping them, because I can take if I read something, maybe what I have read at that time can help that woman with her situation at her time. So it's really interesting when you see that everything that you experience, you had to experience so you can help other people to get where they need to be.
So I think we were talking, you asked me about what I think about how the universe brings the right people into your life at the right time.
Yes.
And I think this is very, very true. When you're ready to move forwards, then you just meet the right people. But I think the universe has a sense of humor, so that if you're ready to move forward, but you don't want to, then the universe may throw some challenges your way, and that challenge might be in the form of a betrayal.
Yeah.
It might be in the form of a disaster or an illness, because you're not moving forward, and the universe thinks, Maria, I love you so much, but I want to move you to the next level, and you're ready for it, but you're not doing it. And it may be that you just feel like, for example, recently, I really just enjoy being in my home. I could just stay in bed all day. The sun just comes through. It's fantastic. And I think the universe just said, then I don't want this anymore. And so it sent me a disaster, which has forced me to leave my home. And it's very unpleasant for me to go through, but I realize that it's just something the universe wants to happen. And by leave my home, it's not a financial issue. It's just people causing me problems where I live.
Yeah.
So just be careful, guys out there, and understand that if it's a disaster, it isn't because, the betrayal happened because they didn't like you or whatever it is. It's the universe causing your best friend to or your family to suddenly turn on you and stab you in the back because you won't move forward. You won't grow.
Yes, and this is a quote that I love so much. It's like, the universe is not doing that to you, but for you.
Absolutely.
Yes, because they are taking you to the next step. They are saying that you can't stay there and you have to move forward. And also you can think about, I'm going to do something else. And because I was trying to get a normal job for 6 years, and the universe was telling me that, no, you are going to do this, but but I want to have that security,
Oh.
I want to have that, but the universe say, no, you can't get this job at all. And now I have understand that it is not my thing to do. It's this I'm going to do. So, and
I love what you're saying. I really do, because quite often I just think, oh, it'd be so easy for me to be back in a job. It's just so
yes.
And then people say, but you wouldn't make as much money or whatever. And I'm saying, yeah, but it's just comfortable. I don't have to think about accountants and government laws and stuff like that. I just
Yes.
Now, what is that quote again? I just love what you just said. The universe.
It's not doing it to you, but for you.
Wow.
And brilliant. I think it's so powerful, because then you know that the universe has always your back.
Yes. It does. Even when you don't think it has your back, it does.
That's so true. And it was something that I was going to say, but I missed it. But maybe sometimes, I get that.
There's a story while you're thinking what it was, that about how this man was walking with God. And then he went through many challenges, and he prayed. He said, "God, where are you?" And he didn't get any help from God. But in the end, he got through. And then and when he was okay, he said, "God, well, where were you when I was going through my challenges? When it was stormy and volcanoes and eruptions were happening all over the place?" And God said to him, well, actually, I was carrying you. You just didn't see it.
Yes. And that is so powerful. I get goosebumps because I think that is so important to understand. And also a friend of mine that I'm going to interview also said not to me, but said in a podcast, he said that God knows where you are going to go. So you don't have faith and don't be afraid to take the next step. Yeah. And I was thinking, it is so powerful. It is so true.
It is. That's so true. Really, really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we went through this, I mentioned about having physical, emotional, and spiritual goals, but the other aspect is your relationships as well, and it's really important to have relationships that support you in where you're going. At the time of recording of your podcast, there is a lot of racism against Black people at the moment.
Yes.
And sometimes sometimes it's really important for you to just surround yourself with people who just like you for you. It's not just obviously Black people who have these issues. Gay people have these issues. They're ostracized in society. And I think it's very important that rather than surrounding yourself with other people who don't like you, that you support yourself with people who do like you.
Yes.
Now, I've faced quite a lot of racism in my own life, not as much as my Black brothers and sisters. So I really don't want to talk about that at the moment because I don't know what they've gone through. But I would say that today I hardly see any racism because all my friends, all the people around me, are people who love and support me for me being me. It's taken me a while to get rid of all the other people who would undermine who I am. But over time, as you grow, this is what will happen. You'll just surround yourself with people who think, Maria, you're amazing. I love your yoga. I love your posts on Facebook. Oh, I just feel really inspired.
Yes.
And if you make a mistake, as all of us do, because sometimes I can be a bit insensitive, because you're surrounded by these people who love you, they'll say, they might say, look, Maria, you made this mistake. This was out of order, but they won't get angry with you about it. They won't judge you for it because they know who you are overall.
That is so true. And when you are starting, like I'm talking much about spiritual awakening, then you start to see yourself in a different light. You start to love yourself. You start to see, is this friend a friend that is supporting me, or is this a friend that is always saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, that is not good for you, and always are saying things that is holding you down. And when you are starting to understand that, you don't have to put out with it. You can just be you.
Yes, you don't have to put up with that. Absolutely. Maria, Heidi, I'm interested in something you just said. If a friend says you can't do this, what would you rather they say to you when you've got something you want to do? Say they said, Heidi, you want yoga academies all around the world. Maybe you say that. And they say, Heidi, you can't do this. Instead of them saying, Heidi, you can't do this, what would you prefer them to say?
This is interesting.
But you would know in their heart they're still thinking that you still can't do that.
Yeah, but if they had said that to me, then I have had that boldness in myself that I said, oh, I will show you, I will do that. So it will be a force to do it.
Yeah, because they told you can't do it, you will do it. Now, the reason I ask you this question is I do have people in my life who tell me what I can't do, but sometimes, and I've kept them there because they will share with me the reasons why they think I can't do it. So now I things I haven't thought about, I will I will work on so that it makes it so that I can do it. But if they told me why they didn't think if I didn't hear that, I would have made more mistakes in order for me to achieve what I'm trying to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And also some of us, I know this sounds bizarre, but some people are motivated by positive, like, Heidi, you can do it, baby, you can go for it. And other people, they're motivated by people saying, you can't do this. And you're thinking inside, oh, yes, I can, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So when I surround myself by people who support me, I also have people who are going to be my friend. They just love me, and some of them are quite negative in terms of saying what I can't do. But these days, it's because of my journey and they've seen what I've achieved, they'll say, I'm going to tell you can't do it, but I know you will. So I will say to them, well, you've actually helped me quite a bit. Give me the reasons where you think I'll have challenges. And then when I have their reasons, it helps me grow in that area for me to achieve what I want. Does this make sense?
Yes, totally. And that is really important to also have a critical friend that is going to say that this is not good for you. I see your point. But
how many times have our friends been right when we say, oh, I want to go out with this man or this woman, and they say, well, that person's not good for you, and you don't listen to them, and they've been right, yes? And
yes.
Either the person has been abusive towards you, or maybe you were both great people, but you just couldn't gel and caused arguments. So I don't think they're necessarily right or wrong. I just look at what they're saying and I think, okay, they said I can't do this. How much do I really want to do it? And how much do I want to prove them wrong? Is it, if it's even worth my time proving them wrong? This is what's going in my head these days.
Yes, yes. I totally understand you, and I totally feel you and hear you. It's so true. And when we see the positive things in the person that is going to say to you that you can't do it, it's really powerful also. And you can also ask them, like you say, why are you thinking that I can't do this? Yeah. What is it that you don't think I can do? And then you get many feedback about how you can do it differently, and also you can show them that you are going to make it. And
well I trick them a little bit, because when they say and give me this feedback of why I can't do it, and then I trick them and I say, so okay, what do you think I should do so that I can achieve it?
Yeah.
So they said, oh, you can't have an academy, a yoga academy in every country, because you would need leaders to run it. And then you would say, oh, that's a really good point. So how do you think I could get leaders to run my yoga academies around the world? I think the other thing is I do have different friends for different aspects of my life. Like, for example, if I don't want, like, I've had a very tough day and I don't want to be challenged for when I get home. So I'd have different friends to go out with who will just laugh and dance. And that's their personality. They if I tell them that I'm going to do anything, they won't say you're bad or good at it. They'll just laugh at you and say, let's go dancing.
Yes.
And other friends that I need to have that discussion with, that challenge, like, okay, I want to do this. Tell me all the problems that you see. So with my negative friends, this is the question I'll ask them. I'll go and say, oh, I need your help with something. Oh, what's that? Well, I want to have a yoga academy in every country. Please tell me all the problems you see.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, so we're talking about friends and having the right friends, and these right friends may not always be 100% positive. They could be what I don't view the world in terms of positive and negative.
No.
Heidi, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I just view it as feedback, and sometimes if they're too negative, I don't really want to talk to them because I'm just tired. But in the same way, some of my friends, they're always saying what they can do and they never do it. So, and if I tell them that, look, I don't think you're going to be able to do it, they get very angry with me. They tell me I'm being negative. But the truth is, when I'm working with people in terms of helping them transform their dream into a reality, sometimes they're not focused enough. And I have to say, look, until you become more focused, this roadmap that I've shown you how to create isn't going to work for you, because you will always get distracted. Somebody will say to you, oh, I can help you achieve your dream life by investing in cryptocurrency, because this will make you more money than what you're doing right now. And I'm thinking, oh no, you're getting distracted and defocused on something that isn't going to 100% work for you.
Yes.
Because our mentality these days is we always want to get things done really quickly. I don't always think that builds the foundation internally for you to sustain your dream life.
Yes, and it's so important to. Now I remember what I was going to say, but I will. It's really important to really figure out what direction do you want to go. What is your focus? How will you live? What relationships do you need in your life? It's really important to get clear on it.
Yeah.
And also I understand when I got all in my business, when I didn't hesitate and thinking that I won't, I'm not going to make it, then miracles started to happen in my business. Like people that was waiting for me to get in the right state, they were coming and said, but can you help me? It wasn't like I was chasing them anymore, like, because I was chasing them. I can help you with this, I can help you with that, I can help you with. But when I was understand that I had to go all in with my energy, then people were coming to me and say, I have watched you for a long time and I see that, can you help me with this?
I love what you're saying about being all in your business and so on. And I think you're absolutely right. People do watch you and they want to see how serious and how passionate you are about your career, your business, your life. And when they see from your social media posting that you're consistent and you're always posting the same kind of information, then they think, okay, Heidi, Maria, you are serious about yoga. You are serious about helping people have a peaceful life and growing in their spirituality. So, as I've seen this so much, all your posts, then I can help you a little bit. But and I love what you're saying, because in the early days we don't know if you're 100% passionate about it, and if we give you the right people and then you just think, oh well, I just wanted to do yoga for like 9 months and now actually I want to do cryptocurrency or something else, then they wasted their time and their precious contacts with you. It's the same with the property business that we set up. So I've always been in property, but I've run other businesses. My team, when they started about 4 years ago, they were kind of like, doing it a little bit. And over the 4 years, now we're in our 5th year, we're getting people chasing us to give us money. We've had over 2 million people with over 2 million in investment, people chasing us to put money into property. Whereas when the team started out, they had to chase people to help fund some of the works we were doing. But now that they've seen over that time that we've been consistent, other people have seen we're consistent. Now they're saying, oh, they're serious. They have helped other people. They've helped people with their returns. So now we want to work with them and send them the right people or finances.
That is so true, and it's when you are doing the same thing, that people is seeing that you are consistent, then they get a understanding that this is real, and people need real right now.
Yes, they certainly do, and that reality comes with the way you connect and add value to people.
Yes.
You know, and if you can't add value to people, then they're not going to be attracted to you. There was someone I just defriended in my social media who posts quite a little bit about their properties and so on, but I never see them interact with anybody else. And I think I posted something which they got very offended about, and which was really bizarre, because I'd liked and I posted and made some comments, some nice positive comments on their previous posts, and they just felt I was trying to advertise myself in their posts, which I have no interest in advertising myself. I was literally reaching out and saying, hey, let's connect together, just really to see how they are. But they took it the wrong way, and I just thought, you know what, I don't need that energy in my life. I just don't need that energy, because they should know by now that I have no interest. If I wanted to promote myself, I would have done it ages ago. Yeah.
Yes.
Even in you said how I reached out to you. There was no advertising. I don't think I asked you to buy anything. Or these are just like, here's some fun things that I've been doing. I'm interested in what you're doing. I think you remember that post.
Yes, I remember it. And when you are talking about it, you contact me on my to wish me
happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. And then you sent me a link to your TEDx talk, and it was so wonderful. And you gave. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, the social magnetism TED
Yes.
talk. So I've done a few TED talks. I thought you would enjoy that a little bit more, because you're so into spirituality and people's relationships, which is what, yoga helps a little bit with. So social magnetism is just really a way for you to build and strengthen your relationships. That's all the social magnetism is, to attract the right people. And we've actually touched upon this quite a bit in your podcast. Like, for example, if you're consistent in people's lives and they constantly see you adding value, for example, with your posts and with your yoga and your communication with people, they constantly see you adding value, and that attracts all the right people helps you attract the right people into your life. It also involves you walking away from other people, which I obviously did by defriending certain people in my social media. So that TED talk was really to help people understand that they need to add that value if they want to right people, and they need to walk away from other people. They also need to work on themselves, and I think you're very much into this and helping people develop self-worth. Some of so because of the the coronavirus global epidemic, there are some people have been stuck at home with an abusive partner. So certainly in our country, domestic violence increased significantly. And again, the TED Talk allows people to understand that they need to walk away from certain people. And the only way that they can walk away is if they develop self-worth and self-value. Because if they don't develop that self-worth, that confidence to walk away, they'll always believe that that abuse is actually some kind of love. Hostage syndrome, where the people actually believe the hostages are good people because they've gone through that if you like that violence and abuse for so long, they actually start believing that they're cared for.
Yeah, I really understand what you are talking about, because some people you have to leave behind. So you can really and truly love yourself and really and truly understand the value of you. And when you start to put the value in yourself, then other people will see it like a mirror, and they will see when you are loving yourself and you are putting value on yourself, then people will also see the value in you. And that was something that you were talking about also in the TEDx talk about loving yourself.
Yes, I'm interested in something actually.
Yeah.
What is the difference, do you think, between loving yourself and being narcissistic?
Yeah, that is loving yourself. Then you are giving to yourself what you need so you can help other people. But if you are a narcissist, then you are always like doing what is best for you.
Yes.
Not seeing other people in that way.
Sure. But in order to love yourself, you really need to do what's best for you. For example, if you're constantly giving to other people, but you're constantly tired, you need to give yourself space not to reach out to other people. And so for example, I know what I'm about. I'm interested in helping people grow their finances and transform their dream life into reality. Some of the people I work with, they have relationship issues, and I help them with that, but they want me to be their relationship coach, and I'll say, no, this is not what I'm interested in. Or if they want to develop peace in their life because they've got so much anger, I would rather send them to yourself, Heidi, if you want to work with them. Same with the relationship people. I'd rather send them to relationship counsel, because maybe I can do that, but I don't want to. It just, for me, it takes out too much of my own energy. It's not what I'm interested in. And I think people do need to walk away from certain people who they may or may not be able to help, but it doesn't work with their energy.
Yes.
And the only way they can do that is to know what value they want to give and just focus on that.
Yes. And that,
so back to the narcissist thing, I think it's all about you giving value to other people, which I share in the TED Talk as well. I say, so it's not just about you loving yourself, but once you love yourself, then you can give out that same kind of love to other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a bit like, I think that people often use this analogy. If the plane is going to crash, who do you give oxygen first to? Your children or yourself? And you have to look after yourself, give that oxygen to yourself, because by doing that, you can then help other people.
Yes, that's so true. And I always use that when I have my talks, because it's so important to give yourself first so you are able to help the other people. And for me, it has always been so important to help other people. It has been from I was a little child. I always were helping people. And now I'm doing yoga, of course, but I have found out that I'm helping women that is empaths, that is highly sensitive, to really understand that they are a sponge to the energy around them. And they also attract narcissists. And to understand that they have to go away from that, leave that energy, and start to see the value in themselves. So I'm so happy that you said that. So
I think empaths are a particular kind of person. According to statistics, there are about 10% of the world
yes,
who have empathic abilities. So, for example, I'm going to guess that you may be an empath as well, Heidi. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Does that mean you pick up all the emotions of people around you?
Yes.
And sometimes, probably in your younger days, those emotions overwhelmed you, or you didn't know why. For example, you might be feeling very sad, but you've had a happy day and everything, but you've picked up somebody's sad emotion, and probably in your younger days you didn't know why. I'm guessing, and neither did perhaps your parents. Like, oh, Heidi, what's up? And you're feeling sad, but you don't know why, because you picked up perhaps even some of the parents' emotions if they're having relationship issues themselves. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yes,
if you're
it is so true, and it is. It's like you sense the energy around you. You sense how the mood swings. You sense when something.
And they could be smiling at you, couldn't you? They might be saying, I'm really happy, Heidi, and but you're somehow, doesn't matter what they look or their body language is, you're picking up those emotions internally in them.
Yes, and I was always thinking, why are they lying to me?
But maybe they weren't lying, they were just trying to protect themselves, and rather than exposing the scars, like maybe they wouldn't want to say, look, my partner's beating me up every day, or something like that. It was just they felt ashamed and too embarrassed about it. But
when you are a little child,
you don't know.
You don't know that. So
correct.
I have just written a chapter in a book called She Rises. And in that book, I'm talking about how to be highly sensitive, and that highly sensitivity is a superpower. So I'm really excited for that project.
It is a superpower if you know how to control it.
Yes.
And this is really interesting that you're saying that you work with people who are highly sensitive, because many still haven't understood how to control it, and that's why I think some highly sensitive people turn to alcohol, because when they've had too much alcohol, then it blocks all these emotions coming into them. So rather than them having to filter through these emotions and think, okay, which one is really me, and what am I picking up, and how can I turn it off, because I just want to go out and have fun today. I don't want to pick up somebody's crap feeling. I don't want to help people today. I just need to focus on me.
Yes.
What just out of interest, what would you suggest? I mean, I know I'm going off focus of your podcast.
When I was talking to you before we were podcasting, I said that let the magic happen. So everything is happened for a reason, and I would say to a person that is highly sensitive, that is contacting me, I will say that it is important for you to start having alone time, and also having alone time in nature, because when you are in nature, you nurturing yourself, and because you don't get erupted by nature, you can just be. You can just be yourself, and then you can start to feel, who am I? And also to meditate. It's really important to meditate, to understand what is my energy and what is other people's energy. So you can see, this is me, this is you. And also start to have boundaries around yourself, that this is okay for me, this is not. And also the boundaries about helping people, because empaths, highly sensitive, is always helping other people and not helping themselves. So many people, included me, was burned out, had no energy at all, because I was emotional burned out.
Yes, because you're picking up everyone else's emotions. Yeah, and that overloads you. I love what you're saying about, just needing to isolate yourself, which is probably why, many empaths really love the lockdown measures that some governments took during the coronavirus epidemic, because it allowed them to just get back to themselves. And this is quite interesting, because your partner is so important. I've seen some empaths become like their partner, and their partner may not be particularly a nice person, but they picked up the pain of that person and that they're partners with, and they thought, I can fix this person. But the downside with empaths is they start picking up the emotions of whoever they're with the most. That phrase, you become like the 5 people you surround yourself with. You're the average. Whereas empaths are highly sensitive, and so if they don't take isolation time, then they really do become like their significant partner. In feeling those emotions.
That's so true. And when I was married, it was like I was feeling what he was feeling 3 weeks before he was feeling it.
Oh, wow. You're a prophetic empath.
Yes, it was like I could understand that something was wrong, and I was asking what is wrong, and he said nothing. And then he came 3 weeks later and then said that then it was something that has happened. So I was feeling it before he was understanding it himself.
Yeah, I think you're right. You were feeling it before you understood it, because obviously not all men. So I'm going to make a generalization. If you're a man listening to Heidi's podcast, don't hurt me for this, but I would say that most men, we're not really in touch with our emotions. So we could be feeling it, but we don't see it, because we're focused on hunting and making money for our partner and looking after, making everything secure. So we almost accidentally block those emotions, but our significant others, like perhaps yourself, especially if you're an empath, are picking it up before we even feel it. Yeah, that's really interesting.
It is.
Thank you for sharing that.
That is this has been so fun. If you could say one thing that you would say to the people that is listening to this podcast about how to change their life and to live their dream life, what would it be?
Well, I would actually say watch my TED talk on social magnetism, because if you can really understand those 3 points that I share in it, and understand how to grow in self-worth, how to add value to others, and walk away from people who just make you feel guilty or bad about yourself. You just need to walk away from those. Then that would help tremendously in you attracting the right people to help you achieve that dream, turn your dream life into reality. The other thing I often share with people is to be an oasis in the storm. Because sometimes life is terrible for other, and we don't know what they're going through. We really don't. People often say, Ben, why did you do that crazy thing in the underground? Everybody can see you. But I know that there are some sad people in there, and perhaps that crazy thing I did, well, they'll go home and they'll be laughing at that idiot person who was in the crowd who did something silly. But it may have made their dent and taken their mind off whatever issues that they went through.
That's so true.
Be an oasis in the storm. Yeah.
That's so true. Thank you so much. It has been an honor to have you on this podcast, and it has been magical. So thank you so much.
And thank you for having me, Heidi. You've been an amazing interviewer for your first podcast. So this is really, really cool. I'm really going to be interested in how much better you get and how consistent you are.
Thank you. And where can they contact you? Do you have a website or?
Yes, I have a website, Ben Chai Official, but and opportunities. But probably the best way to contact me is on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So just go to BENCHAI on LinkedIn. You'll find me very easily, and you'll see it in the TEDx talks. If you put my name in Google, you'll just see all the crazy things that I do in Google, including standing up on planes and just reading books aloud.
Oh, that's good. I would put the link on your TEDx talk under here so people can watch it. So thank you so much, and to everybody watching, it has been so nice to have this podcast and more to come.